Alright, welcome finally to the Forest Temple, the first Adult Link dungeon. As soon as you come inside and you step forward, there will be two Wolfos. You remember these things. Now, as Adult Link, fighting them is pretty much the same, except you have one more option, kind of. You can use the hookshot to fight them, as well as Deku Nuts. But I feel like Deku Nuts are a lot better idea than the hookshot is, just because the hookshot gives you more time, or it gives the other one a chance to attack. So I would not advise using that, and it's kind of difficult to do that, so I just don't prefer to. Of course, you can just do what I did and backflip, and then jump attack with them. It's not always easy though, but you'll figure out a way. Anyway, once you're done with fighting them, go ahead and climb up these vines. It wasn't really necessary to fight them, but it would make it a lot easier to progress through this room. Climb these vines on the wall, and then you drop up here on this cut tree. It has a perfectly flat cut top. Thank goodness for that, right? And then over here in the vines you can see, while I was struggling to aim on this pathetic emulator controls, there we go, there's another Golden Skulltula token. Now, you can go ahead and jump over to here, although it can be kind of difficult because you have to angle yourself a certain way, but alternatively you could just use your hookshot on this chest and then it will just pull you over to the chest, which is pretty nice. It doesn't pull the chest over to you, it pulls you over to the chest, just in case there's any confusion. Okay, once you're done with that, go ahead and jump, and I would say land on this and then land on that while holding the control stick, you know, in the forward direction of Link, or else you will take damage from the fall. It's quite a drop, and it will hurt. Alright, in this room, there is a Skulltula right there, but you can just use your hookshot to kill it, so you pretty much never have to fight them again properly. Yes. Do you guys love the hookshot yet? If not, you will. I promise you, you will. Anyway, in this room right here, a cinematic cutscene begins to start, and there are 4 colored flames on these 4 torches, and they were stolen by Poes, and, well, off they go, I suppose, into the dungeon. Goofy little laughs. And they seem to have, well, the flames seem to make this here thing in the middle, whatever it's supposed to be, they seem to make it work. So, and apparently we need it, so let's go figure out how to get those flames back. Anyway, you come over here to the north side of the room, and here is a Skulltula, a Golden Skulltula, excuse me. And there it is, right there to the east side of the wall. Very easy to miss if you don't know it's there. Maybe you can hear it, but I guess if you don't play with your sound all that loud, then you won't hear it. Anyway, in this room there is a new enemy called a blue bubble. Now this is one of the 4 different bubble types in this game, and this is interesting. There actually is an enemy that is a bubble, but these enemies are called bubbles. And if you don't know what I'm referring to the Shabombs, even though I guess their name is bubble in Japanese, but I don't know. Anyway, in this next room there are 2 Stalfos, and these are skeletal warriors, and they're new enemies. And if you remember a couple episodes ago, it says that Grog was turned into a Stalfos. Actually, no, it was the last video. Grog became a Stalfos. This is what happens to adults who get lost in the Lost Woods. They turn into one of these things. Very scary, right? And yeah, who knows? I could be fighting Grog right now as we speak. Doesn't really know. Okay, there are a couple ways to fight these things. You can use Deku Nuts. You could use the hookshot, but then again, I would not advise using the hookshot just because it leaves you vulnerable for a second. And do make use of shielding with R and Z targeting, of course. I don't know about you, but I prefer Z targeting on Switch when I'm playing Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. But say if it's Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, I prefer Z targeting on hold. So, that's just my personal preference. You can do whatever you want, though. Alright, so after defeating both of them, a small chest will appear. Go ahead and open that up. It's another small key, and I haven't talked about small keys yet because we haven't actually seen them before this dungeon. So even though I got one already, we haven't seen one before this dungeon. Okay, so we're done with that. I just wanted to see something, I suppose. I want to show you the fairy I still have in the bottle. I do have a fairy in a bottle, but if you don't, you can grab one if you want to, in case you are very prone to taking hits, or you didn't get all the pieces of heart I did, and you don't have the same amount of heart containers. I'm unusually ahead, according to some guides you might find out there. Some guides might still have 9 hearts at this point, some may have 10, but I have 11. Yeah, I like to get as many as I can, so that's pretty nice. Okay, you come outside, and then over here to the northwest corner. Sorry, I usually mix up east and west. I know, right? I'm only 19. I'll get it right one day. Come over to the northwest corner and then play the Song of Time to get rid of this time block. Very nice. Alright, now a door opens, and it's an actual door. It's not like one of those lift-up doors that you sometimes find. But anyways, it's an actual door that like you'd find on a house. And it has a nice golden doorknob too. Quality. Okay, so you can kill this giant Deku Baba in here. Even as Adult Link with the Master Sword, they still take an awful lot of hits. Then again, I probably need to restate that as Adult Link part, because you don't really see these things at all as Child Link. Unless you're playing in the Master Quest, then you'll see them in the first dungeon. But this isn't Master Quest, this is just the normal game. Okay, those enemies were not really necessary to defeat. And, oh, there was that too. Okay, note to self, never trust Z-targeting on a wall. Just do it yourself, or else that will happen. Okay, there are two Skulltulas, but you can see the one to the top is very much out of our reach. But it is still possible to kill it using the hookshot, and I wanted to show that off. It's not necessary, you don't have to do it, you just have to climb up here and then go through the door. You can just ignore it. It doesn't give you anything to kill it, but I just wanted to show off that you can. So if you do aim just right, and I guess you're halfway off of the ledge, I sped this up just because I was here for a little bit and I didn't want to bore you. And I also tried using a Deku Nut, but that didn't work. That either didn't work, or I guess I just didn't aim properly. It's probably the second one, to be honest, but I don't think it would have worked anyway. Once you're done with that, there you go. See, it is possible to kill that. Again, you don't have to do that. I just wanted to show it that you can. Alright, in this room, there's just a single blue bubble. You can use a Deku Nut to fight it, and then the jump attack, and then it's dead. Very easy. Do Z-target enemies as well while you fight. That'll make fighting a lot easier. Alright, once that bubble is dead, a treasure chest will appear, a big one, so go ahead and open that to receive your prize, which I believe is just the dungeon map. Yes, dungeon map. And after the chest spawning here, you may become a little confused or disoriented and forgetting, wait, which door did I come through? Was it that one or was it that one? Well, all you have to do is just look above the door to find out. If you see that symbol's a fan, then that is how you know that you continue. And the reason why it's a fan is because originally the Forest Temple was planned to be a Wind Temple. However, that idea was scrapped, and I guess it was saved for Wind Waker. Anyway, once you're done, come out here and kill that regular-sized Deku Baba. So, it'll be nothing compared now to the big Deku Baba. Okay, come over here, and then you'll see a new type of switch. It is a red switch, and it only appears once in the entire game, and this is it, or at least I think it only appears once. And the way that it works is you step on it, and then it goes down, and then whenever you get off and you step on it again, it comes back up. Very interesting, but I don't know why they didn't use that more than once. Only once in this game. I think maybe they made more use of it in Master Quest than they did in the original game, but I don't remember. The Forest Temple is probably the most foreign temple to me in Master Quest, but anyway. I was trying to fight this Deku Baba for Deku Nuts, but it just would not die, so I was like, forget it, I'm tired of this. And I just cut its stem. Yes, I got like 4 jump attacks using the Master Sword, so I don't know how that didn't kill it. I'm very surprised, but I was just tired and I wanted Deku Nuts, but whatever, I didn't get it. Okay, so there's a treasure chest up here that you can get right now, and I wanted to show that off. You can use the hookshot, but you have to make sure you hookshot the front side of the chest, because the side of it is just too close to the ledge, and then there's no room for you to climb or stand up. This chest isn't really important, it's just a recovery heart. What we're really up here for is this, Golden Skulltula. Yes, and actually I wanted to point something out real quick. The number of Golden Skulltulas I have on this file is not the same as the Golden Skulltulas I've collected so far in this walkthrough. Remember my file got corrupted once, and then I had to replay through the game, and I forgot to get 1 Golden Skulltula in that new file, but I did get it on video, so far you should have at least 1 more Golden Skulltula than I do. And you'll find out how many I will have the next time I open my menu and go to the quest status subscreen. Okay, come down here, and then you walk all the way down. There are 2 hearts there for you, and down here there's a chest with a small key. Very nice. And then you just climb the vines out of here to get back to the top. Now the top, well, I guess you could have just climbed over to the side and then left. Alright, I think this one actually let me... Yes, look at that. I guess cutting it by the stem made it very weak, and then I could just hit it in one kill, or kill it in one hit using the spin attack. Even though the spin attack does the same exact damage as just swinging your sword, vertically or horizontally. Okay, so now, finally, let's go over to the west side of the room. That was the one with the locked door. So there are only 3 rooms you can access, other than this south side. Alright, go ahead and kill that big Skulltula, or I think it's just a normal Skulltula. Go ahead and kill the Skulltula using the hook shot, or you can just fight it yourself. And then in this room, there is a single blue bubble. Just go ahead and kill it, and it'll, you know, get in the way. Alright, this is kind of a confusing room, but it won't take you very long. It's just kind of hard to figure out where you are, but it's not like a huge, complicated puzzle. Sort of, just a little one. So climb up these ladders, and then once you get over here, Navi will interrupt you, telling you that there are arrows painted on the floor. Actually, Nintendo 64 graphics can't do that, so it's just a little bit above hovering. So down there, there is a symbol with the, well, in my case, the crescent moon and star, because this is version 1.2. But in your case, it may be the different Gerudo symbol, so doesn't matter. Anyway, the symbol doesn't matter. It just means that the symbol is going to be the same as the symbol on the block, which means that you just have to push the block into that hole, which is what I'm doing right now. Takes a little bit, I know, but it's worth it. Okay, so you go ahead and push that block over to that side, and you need to come around here to actually move it this way, because you'll notice there's no room for you to stand over here. So you may be wondering, well, how do I finish pushing this block into the hole? So you just come around the corner, and then you'll be right there. It's just fine. Alright, you may have thought that was it for this room, right? Well, unfortunately you're wrong, because as these arrows indicate, there is another block, and there it is. And for some reason, they made this one a different color than the other one. I guess maybe it was to avoid confusion, but I don't know. Color of the block really doesn't matter. Alright, go ahead and pull this one out here, and then you realize there's no room for me to stand, so I have to go around, and it seemed like there was no path for me to go around, so you have to come down here, come this way, and through these halls, and then over here to the right there is a ladder, and this ladder will take you, of course, up to the same level that those blocks are on, but you need to sort of come at it from a different way. You make 2 rights, and then here's the block. I probably didn't explain that very well, but I mean, if you watch the footage of the video, then you'll see where I went just fine. Alright, now to do all of that backtracking. Oh man, Link loves grabbing the ledge. Alright, come back here, and here's the first block we pushed. And then up to the right. And then, here it is. Let's finish this puzzle. Go ahead and push this block into the hole. And then that is it for block puzzles. At least for right now. Alright, go ahead and climb it. Make sure the action icon says A climb, so that, you know, you don't accidentally push nothing. But then again, it doesn't matter because you're not actually going to move it. Can't move it, it's stuck in a hole. Alright then, climb up this ladder, and then be very careful. There are 2 blue bubbles. Well, maybe not very careful. They're not much of a threat. You could just also let them touch your shield, and that will extinguish their flame. And you have to extinguish their flame in order to actually kill them. I don't think I explained that yet. Okay, so this is a locked door. Come in this door, and then... Whoa, what is going on? Did I drink too much energy drink? Why is the corridor twisted? Well, that is part of the game. And actually, I wanted to take this opportunity to show off Pharaoh's Wind. I got it just before completing Jabu Jabu, but I haven't actually used it yet. I was thinking that I needed to use it inside of Jabu Jabu's belly, and then I realized I didn't have to. So the way that it works is, of course, it consumes magic, and you can only use it inside of dungeons, and you can use it to warp once. As soon as you get into this now twisted sideways room, Navi is going to warn you about monster shadows that come from the ceiling. And she's not making it up either. So come down here, or you could just avoid it, but come down here, and then this right here is a wall master, and it's shaped like a hand. Rather creepy. It's like bony. It's very creepy enemy. So if you're wondering what happens if you just let the shadow get bigger and bigger and then you don't fight it, well, it'll grab you and then it will pull you up, and then it will take you, I think, to the beginning of the dungeon, or maybe the beginning of the room. if I remember correctly, maybe it's the beginning of the entire dungeon. So, just to be safe, to be on the safe side, fight them. Especially if you're a new player, just fight them. This is no time to get cocky. You just need to fight them. Okay, in this other locked door, and also make sure you had 3 keys. If you didn't, then go back previously in the video. Alright, ignore that Poe laughing for now. It'll be important later. And actually, you saw on these paintings, there is a Poe in only one of them. And if you get close to the Poe, then it will laugh, and then it'll switch to another painting. You can't actually fight it, at least right now you can't. So, just ignore it. So you come into this room here, and there's a hole in the floor, and there's a single Stalfos. Now, that hole is not Abyss. That hole just takes you to the room where we fought the 2 Stalfos before, just on the first level. So, you will not die, or, you know, you won't die or take damage if you fall down that hole. You'll just have to backtrack, which is very annoying. It's just more of an inconvenience thing, but however, the Stalfos can hover, so they can just walk on it without a problem. Alright, and I would recommend you get used to fighting Stalfos right now. And I understand they can be pretty tough enemies, especially for beginner players. They were pretty tough for me whenever I first fought them. Alright, so there are 2 more Stalfos. I know, right? Probably your worst nightmare ever. So, and these ones here, these ones have a twist to them. So, of course, I'm fighting this one like normal, as you'd expect. And then, oh yeah, and you can break the jars for hearts too if you take too much damage. But if you did not swipe up that fairy in a bottle, and if you get killed by these Stalfos, then, well, it'll revive you, and then you'll be just fine. And you'll be at full health. So anyway, that first one died, but its bones and its armor are piled on the floor. And you have to hurry up and kill this one before that one comes back together, or else you'll have to fight them both again. Now, I remember I was stuck on this as a kid so much, and I just could not do it, and it really frustrated me. But now that I am a pro player, I've played this game way too much, and now I can just kill it without a problem. And as you can see, this treasure chest is a little bit higher, so Link's like clipping through it and not quite touching the lid to open it. Anyway, inside of this chest is a very awesome item, the definitive Adult Link item in my opinion, the fairy bow. I don't know why they call it the fairy bow and not just the bow. Maybe because calling it the bow was boring. There's nothing like fairy-like about it at all. Alright, once you're done with that, I wanted to go ahead and break these jars for some hearts. And possibly magic, but they don't give magic. Alright, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and return back to my warp point. Alright, that's what it's like. And the warp point is gone here too, so I'm simply creating another one. Although, I did this sort of an inefficient way. I could have done it a lot better while I was recording this, but I guess that doesn't matter. Anyway, now that I'm back in here, the corridor is still twisted, and as you noticed, I forgot to point out last time, there's a treasure chest on the wall, or actually on the floor, if this were twisted the other way. Anyway, come down the stairs here, and now let's actually do something about these paintings. So there's a ghost right there, and it's holding the flame. Shoot it with the bow. And no, the hookshot does not work. I've tried. So now, she's stuck in that one. Now she has to face herself. And yes, I refer to these as her, because these are female. Look at that. I've just proved it. This one is Joelle. So these are the Forest Temple Poes. This is the first one out of the 4 in this game, or in this temple. So, an easy trick to using it. Use Deku Nuts to make them visible again. This does not work, however, with Poes you'll find in the graveyard. It only works with the Forest Temple Poes. So, just keep doing this until the Poe dies. Alright, very good. Now that that Poe is defeated, the flame is back on the torch. Also, this orange flame is the only normal looking flame. It doesn't look weird because it's not, you know, blue or purple or green or anything else. Alright, now let's go to the room on the opposite side. This temple is pretty much tries to stay mirrored east to west, so it looks generally the same. It's like a center point and then has the same sort of body shape on both sides. Anyway, same idea here. Go ahead and shoot the painting with the Poe in it. And of course, it'll switch to the next one. But of course, now that you're here, it has no choice but to stay there. Down the stairs we go. And here she is. This one here is Beth. Are you picking up on any of the names yet? Maybe you will soon. Okay. Same idea. Just use Deku Nuts to fight them. And I didn't want to fight this one on the stairs. I wanted her to come down into, you know, this spacious part of the room where, you know, we can fight. So you just have to get close to her, and then she will charge at you by spinning and shaking her torch. So trap her in the corner, kill her. Look at that. Very good. Second one is down. This is the blue one. So let's go ahead and open up this treasure chest here. Alright, Dungeon Compass. Very nice item. You know what it does at this point. Alright, go ahead and break these jars for any hearts or arrows that you may need. It would be advisable to break them after fighting the Poes, because then, well, you can get your stuff back. So I'm going to go ahead and warp back to the warp point, but I actually sort of misused it here. I probably could have done it a better way. Maybe I should have casted another one, but I didn't. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot that eye switch, but I wanted these what are they, blue bubbles to just be out of the way so that they wouldn't interfere with me. Okay, so the corridor is now normal, but the room is still, well, the room is unchanged, except now that the room is normal, we can access it from this point on, so that I'm going to do. And now, of course, this chest is oriented, you know, properly. Now I can collect it. So you'll notice that this chest looks very colorful. It's gold and it's blue, and that means it is the boss key. Yes, that's right. That is another thing with Adult Link dungeons. You get the boss key in normal, in the Great Deku Tree, in Dodongo's Cavern, and in Lord Jabu Jabu. There were just puzzles to get over to the boss room, but now in order to actually get into the boss room, you need to collect this boss key. So you collect it actually pretty early on in this dungeon. Well, not early on. I'm about halfway done with this dungeon. Maybe a little bit over that now. I'm just halfway over the dungeon, and now I have the boss key. Normally you would get it a lot later than that. You get it sort of towards the end, but this one's a little bit different. Okay, in here, if you're not good at, you know, not falling, then I would go ahead and place a warp point here so that you don't accidentally fall off, and I'll show you why. I'm pretty good at not falling, so I'll just, you know, do this. Come in here, collect these hearts, pull your hook shot out, and then there's one right here. And no, these are not vines that you can hook shot onto, so if you accidentally miss, it's not going to pull you onto it. I was really getting annoyed, so I decided, whatever, I'll Z-target it. So, that I did. Alright, so come here on this broken ruins. This looks like some type of broken ancient Greek structure. Anyway, there's a big Deku Baba right here. I don't know how it grew here. There's no dirt or anything. It just grew straight out of the stone cracks, except there aren't really any stone cracks. They're just kind of a rough texture. I'm guessing that's what that is. Alright, in here is a floor master. It's like a wall master, but instead, well, it's on the floor and it doesn't go up to the ceiling. Okay, so whenever it turns green, shield it, and then after you hit it, it'll turn to 3 little ones. Kill them as quickly as you can. I just did a quick spin. I know many of you new players probably will not be able to do a quick spin, but I did a quick spin just because it's the fastest way. And they drop magic too, so if you've been using the Pharaoh's Wind as much as I have been, then it'll be very nice to replenish your magic. It's probably been annoying you since the magic meter has not been filled for a while. Alright, this is the room that we were in with the 2 block puzzles, or except we're on the bottom layer of it now. You may have noticed that door up there and wondered, well, what's up there? Well, that's what it is. And interesting, there's no ladder or anything to get to that door. However, in Master Quest, this room is vastly different. And again, I should stop talking about Master Quest because I'm not going to cover that game on my channel. At least right now I'm not. I don't plan to. Anyway, let's go ahead and climb back up our blocks here. And this is why it would have been a good idea to use Pharaoh's Wind, just so that, you know, you wouldn't have to backtrack here. But then again, I also wouldn't show off this chest here that I literally just remembered while I was recording, so that's pretty Convenient. Go ahead and shoot this eyeball switch, and then there you go, you get a chest. It's not important at all. I never get it, honestly. I only got it just because I was making this video, and I just remembered. So there's a bundle of arrows, and whenever you see bundles of arrows as dropped items in this game, if there's just one arrow, then it's 5. If there are 2, then it's 10. If there are 3, then there are 15. So that's it. That's how you know how many arrows you're getting. So 1 arrow means 5 arrows in actuality. I know that's not how real life works, but that's how it works in this game. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I think I killed the bubble first because it got in my way. Yeah. Alright, now I'm just going to... Yes, you can shoot the closed eyeball and it will open it again. This doesn't work for all of them. Say, for example, you wanted to shoot the golden one I shot for that treasure chest. You can't shoot it again because... What, is it just going to summon the chest back up into the ceiling? No. Maybe it's only silver eyeball switches that you can do that. This is one of them. Alright, in here, you shouldn't really have to worry about the wall master if you're fast enough. So, do tend to avoid it. And I was trying to backflip over the railing here and got some kind of weird angle. I need a new controller for this game. My controller is sort of breaking, but thankfully it was fine enough to make this video. Alright, in here, this is just the room where we fought the Stalfos. Nothing else to do in here. And this is the room where we fought the blue Poe. I forgot her name already. Actually, I think she was Beth. Yeah, she was Beth. Anyway, that doesn't quite matter. Anyway, here is this locked door now. This is why you needed more keys, because there are just more locked doors. Again, Navi's going to interrupt you here about wall masters, so watch out for those. So I went ahead and killed this one anyway, just because there's a ladder there, and they can swipe you up even if you're on the ladder. I did not take the opportunity in this video to show off what happens whenever you get swiped up. If you're curious, just do it in your own game, but I would not advise you to do it in your own game because I think it'll take you to the very beginning of the dungeon. I don't quite remember because I think I've only been swiped up once. Alright, this is the other twisted corridor, and here's a new enemy, a green bubble. Now these ones are weaker than blue bubbles, they only take 1 hit to kill, and they can extinguish their flames sometimes, and they stay floating in the air. These ones don't bounce on the ground, and they are only a 1-hit kill, so these ones are not as annoying as blue bubbles. These ones are pretty minor. They're about as... Actually, to be honest, I think Keys are more annoying than green bubbles. I would have to agree that. I'd say green bubbles are probably the least annoying enemy in this game. Anyway, there is a torch right here and spinning platforms, and there is an eyeball switch locked in ice. Shoot it with the bow and arrow whenever it gets close enough, or whenever you get in position. And this corridor will be twisted, and for some reason the green bubbles won't show in the cinematic cutscene. Also, I missed and I jumped into this... Well, I don't know what this is. I don't think this is lava. It's red, but I don't think this is lava. I think this is like poisonous fumes or something. Actually, no. Anyway, whenever you're done with that, go ahead and just slowly climb back up. And there's no ladder on the platform with the door. There's only a ladder on the platform with the eyeball switch. And I guess that's because they really wanted you to jump on these again just to leave the room. Alright, fight the green bubbles if you so desire. I actually got hit by that one. That's not a very common occurrence for me. That's fine, doesn't matter. Go ahead and kill the green bubbles and then be on your way. So you come through here and then you can jump down here and then down this hole. This is finally accessible to us. You may scream, but Link won't actually take any damage. Alright, this isn't actually where you need to go to next, but I just wanted to show this off and ignore the sound of the Skulltula. I think it scared me while I was recording. This just takes you out to this room, and Navi's being highlighted there because this is where you play the Scarecrow song and Pierre will come out. Although I don't do that in this video, I do that in the next video where I make Pierre follow us. Alright, anyway, go ahead and kill some of these Skulltulas here, and do not get crushed by this checkerboard or chessboard ceiling. I guess it's more like a chessboard. Checkers is like for, I don't know, inexperienced players, I suppose. I don't know. Of course, Navi will come here and annoy you and say that the ceiling is falling down, as if you couldn't figure that out already. Alright, and it is way easier to kill these Skulltulas back here. And thankfully these dropped hearts actually stayed long enough for me to collect them, which I was very pleased. Alright, so if you stand right here on this switch, that will open the door, of course, and it's not timed, it stays down forever, so that's pretty nice. This chest right here just contains 10 arrows. I almost said 20 arrows. No, that's not true. Alright, after you get that, go ahead and come into this room now, and seemingly there's nothing in here, but there's stuff on the ceiling. Go ahead and shoot the painting, and make sure you do not stand on any of the shadows on the floor, or else you will be crushed by one of the blocks. Alright, do you like stressful puzzles? Me neither, but anyway, here is a stressful puzzle. This is a block puzzle. There are 5 pieces, and we have to move them and make the picture on the top match the painting. It's very easy. There are 5 pieces here. The one that I just shoved aside, the blue one, is just to confuse you. It's just to throw you off. So I would just push it out of the way. It's not actually part of the painting. Yes, it has the right hand and the torch, but it's not the same color as the painting, so it's just to throw you off. And you just have to push it aside. You should have plenty of time. If the timer does run out, you don't die or anything. The blocks just lift up, they rearrange, and then they just fall back down again, and then your timer resets. So nothing really bad actually happens if the timer runs out. It's nothing to worry about. But still, just time puzzles are never fun, so that's why you get it over with as much as you can. Anyway, there's the last Poe. Go ahead and kill it, and then there's the fire right there. Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and break the jars right here whenever you're done to stock up on rupees and arrows that I didn't actually need because I used, well, I guess I got them back whenever I killed the Poe. Alright, go ahead and kill this Skulltula using either the fairy bow or the hook shot. Yeah, you can use the fairy bow too to destroy them. But if you want to save arrows like I do, then you can just use the hook shot. Alright, so you come back in the main room, and it seems the last Poe's right there on the floor, and she's doing something. Let's go see what it is. This is the last Poe fight. This right here is Meg. So, go ahead and you want to shoot it, but if you're wondering, well, how do you know which one is the right one to shoot? Because there is only one. So, if you're wondering, you look for the one who spins around once, and that is the one who is the correct one. Now, I always stand in either the northeast or northwest corner just so that I have room. They will follow you, and they stay distant from you, and if you wait too long, then they'll attack. You cannot use your sword to do this, unfortunately. I think you can use the hook shot, though, if you're out of arrows. Then again, if you're out of arrows, then this boss fight will be pretty difficult for you. Okay, go ahead and shoot her, and that's it. Alright, so we just fought 2 Poes within like just about 2 rooms from each other. And I missed those arrows because I thought I got them, but I didn't. Frustrating. Also, I just wanted to make sure that I collected every single chest that I have done so far, which I have. I've so far collected everything. And so this right here is an elevator, and it's apparently magical. Doesn't float or it's not held up by anything. Behind those bars, of course, as you saw, is the boss door. It has a very sinister looking lock on it with devil horns, so that's how you know whenever it's a boss door. So keep that in mind. Also, this is a very strange room. You can grab these giant slabs sticking out of the wall, and then you can move the walls in an, what is this, octagon? An octagonal, it's an octagonal shaped room. Alright, go ahead and shoot or kill the Skulltula, and then the golden Skulltula right up here on this wall. And this is the last golden Skulltula in the forest temple. So there you go, there's the golden Skulltula token, and if you're following along with me, you should have 51, not 50. I know my game said 50, but 51. If you remember earlier, I addressed the reason why my number count is different, but don't worry, in like 2 videos or something I fix it, because in the next video I realized what happened. I tried to wonder, wait a minute, did I miss one? But no, I got them all. Alright, enough of that. Go ahead and push the walls, move them over, and then you want to keep moving them until you can find a room available. You can also push them both ways, so you don't have to push them clockwise like I am. You can push them counterclockwise if you want to. Alright, in this hole there's nothing except for a switch, a floor switch, so just step on it and that'll open up another door. Alright, now I'm gonna push this one back, even though pushing it clockwise again would do the same thing. I'd still have to push it twice, but actually this one, I forgot. No, never mind, that was later. You have to step on this for, you know, the third one to open. But I was just showing off that you can push them both clockwise and counterclockwise there too. I remember the first time I did this room, it actually took me, I think, 15 minutes to figure out, just because I could not read it all very well. Also, you can't move while the walls are moving, so you can move the control stick, but Link's not going to move anywhere. Alright, this is the last one now. Now I can finally go to the boss door. You can use the carpeted color on the floor to help guide you to which room it is. Alright, it's finally time to go and fight the boss of the Forest Temple. In the boss room here, let's climb up these stairs over to the right, and then inside of a ring we see a lot of nice paintings, but it doesn't appear to be... well, there's no one here, so... well, I guess we can leave. Alright, you probably were not expecting Ganondorf to be our first boss, but, well, this is Phantom Ganon, and I promise he is way easier than Ganondorf. So anyway, there are two versions of him. There's a darker version and there's a lighter version. On the Nintendo 64, it's kind of hard to tell, but on the 3DS version, it's a lot easier to tell. The lighter version is the real Phantom Ganon, so I guess if it just looks too dark, then that's how you know it's the wrong one. Make sure you're shooting the correct one. Alright. And the funny thing, the first few times I fought this boss fight, I didn't know there were two of them. So that's the wrong one. That's the right one. And if you are out of arrows, you can use your hook shot to defeat this boss. So Phantom Ganon is an evil ghost of the Forest Temple. So in order to defeat him, you have to attack his magic back at him. Of course, though, sometimes he's very fast. So he's going to use his magical rod to create this charged up energy orb. And then you have to hit it with your sword, and, well, it has to hit Phantom Ganon. However, sometimes, though, he can play a bit dirty and unfair, and then he'll just pretty much cheat and always win every time. Isn't that annoying when that happens? Stuff like that. Oh, but look at that! I got lucky that time, and, well, I hit him. The thing is, too, he's not standing, he's floating way too close to me, and I got lucky that time, too. Alright. Alright, go ahead and hit him, and there you go. I also don't think I explained what happens if you fail to shoot Ganon on his horse. If you fail and he jumps out of the painting, then he shoots lightning on the ground, and then you just have to avoid walking in the center of the room. Alright, now let's finally show a real tennis match. Look at this. Each time is faster, so get ready to hit the B button earlier than you did previously. Also, you'll find out that he's not very good at this, so you can just slash away at him, and oh man, I got a lot of hits on that time. Normally I don't get too many hits during these pauses. Alright, I think this one he played dirty with me and he hit me, so I don't remember. No, I did it again this time. There was another time I know where it happened. Oh, I guess not, never mind. Alright, well, Phantom Ganon's been defeated. And that is it for the Forest Temple. Congratulations. Phantom Ganon is actually I would say he's a pretty challenging boss fight at first, if you're a new player. I think I actually died to him my first time playing this game. Congratulations. Now go ahead and pick up your heart container And that is going to be it for the Forest Temple. Hope you found it very helpful. So, that is it for now. Join me in the next video where we will be completing more side quests.